Hello. We are Renoster, and our mission is to save endangered animals with technology. There's a poaching war taking place across reserves in Africa. At the first reserve that I visited, there were about 20 rangers trying to protect over 60 square miles. Soon after I arrived, rangers received a tip-off about poaching on their land, and within minutes we were in the thick of the bush trying to track poachers with dogs, helicopters, and jeeps. We had no idea where the poachers were, and we were scouring the land for more than 24 hours until finally we found Betty, their lost black female rhino, dead. The poachers were long gone, and the worst part about it was that during our autopsy we found that she was pregnant and that her calf did not survive. I saw the pain firsthand as we got back to camp and how much this impacted the rangers. There was a feeling of helplessness. But the sad reality is that Betty is not unique. Unfortunately, hundreds of rhino just like her suffer a very similar fate at the hands of poaching. At the current rate, rhinos as a wild species will not live to see 2030. In South Africa, with a country with over 80% of the world's rhino, over 10,000 rhino have died in the last decade. And this problem is not just about the rhino. South Africa's ecosystem and economy relies on their wildlife. They've lost over $500 million from tourism decline. Our goal as a company is to save these animals. We use technology to help rangers effectively protect their land. Our product is a device that listens for gunshots and gives rangers the exact location of a poaching incident to within 50 meters. Once we identify the gunshot, we provide rangers with an exact attack plan to take the guesswork out of responding to threats on their land. By mapping the savanna, providing optimal routes, and taking capacity into consideration, rangers now have a coordinated and intelligent response at their disposal, increasing the likelihood of catching a poacher. Here are the devices in action. We were successful in detecting gunshots through the dense African bush. And wherever I went during that trip, I was bombarded with positive messages from rangers who saw the hope of a better future where they could actually protect their animals. Researchers estimate $58 billion needs to be spent to protect endangered species worldwide. And part of the reason why this number is so high is that existing methods are way too inefficient. We want to develop a business that can hit scale and decrease the total investment that needs to be made to protect these animals. We have an average $10K installation fee, followed by an average $2,500 in monthly service fees. For each reserve that we take on, we estimate an average of $30,000 in annual recurring revenue. In terms of our go-to-market strategy, we have an agreement of development with Thornybush, a private game park outside Kruger National Park. Through them, we also have connections to 7 other reserves in the area. Launching the product with Thornybush will give us the capital and the case study that we can take to these reserves for expansion. Aside from this, we've also received various inbound requests for pilots in 3 other African countries. In terms of the competition, ranger patrols are risky and manpower intensive, and usually not deployed in an optimal way. Helicopters tend to be a high-cost solution that does not work. Rangers are often left flying blind with very little intelligence. Some reserves have experimented with technology by bringing on camera traps and license plate detectors. But while these are more accurate, they are not immediate enough to help find poachers on the run. And these alternatives make up the bulk of the security budget, and the poachers still get away. Renoster gives these rangers a high-accuracy product that minimizes response time and provides real-time data to rangers in the field so they can catch the bad guys. In the space of a year, we've developed a small research project that has raised $35,000 in funding. It took us just 4 months to go from the lab to Africa. And at each step of the way, we've closed successful partnerships with groups like the Nature Conservancy and Gore-Tex, gaining their support and help with local testing and engineering materials. We believe that one of our strongest assets has been tapping into international collaboration, as well as recruiting Northwestern's top data scientists and hardware engineers. Aside from this, we also have specialist advisors with years of experience in signal processing and conservation work, both here in the US and in South Africa. We're experiencing demand that we want to be ready to meet, and this requires $150,000 to get to a full launch. With this funding, we will continue building the hardware and software systems behind our technology. And by December, we will roll out a full pilot with Thornybush and add 2 more reserves before April 2021. Our mission has started with protecting rhino like Betty, but poaching is a crime that affects the whole ecosystem. Make no mistake about it, we are fighting for the entire savanna. I'm here to make sure that our children can enjoy the same biodiversity of the earth that we have taken for granted. Thank you for your time.